I'd like to dedicate this Rantcast to the memory of Phil Donahue, who was really an extraordinary individual and really did a great deal for this country by being civil, human, showed manners, showed charm, had a sense of etiquette, had a sense of empathy, and he brought it to television. And we've it then spun out a whole list of psychotics who took it further the other way, and hopefully we're seeing the end of it in terms of how it's affected. That kind of psychosis has affected the whole society, and that for a moment it was nice to remember someone who understood how all of this should really work. So thank you, Phil. I am saddened to see you leave. You will be missed. This could all go horribly wrong at any minute. Hello there, and welcome to the 187th edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled Insufferable. Yes, sir, and it certainly was. It can describe much of what has occurred, but, the heat that I experienced in Las Vegas, which I was going to talk about, the city and the changes I saw and performing out there, but no. Other things have happened, and they must be discussed. I will save Las Vegas until next week, unless something else spectacularly insane happens. Insufferable really applies to the fact that, and this is a first world problem. I know that. Look, I have traveled a ton on airlines in this country, a ton, over the past 108 years of touring, and I will tell you this. Hoo-ha, I just experienced the worst of the worst of the worst that I have, and I know others have had it even worse than that. But it really is I've crossed a divide here. I am still recovering. If you kind of go, geez, stumbling around, it seems a little odd. Why is he looking for words? It's because. Look, well, first off, let me just say the first world problem. I realize this, but the fact of the matter is, I can't walk back from Las Vegas. Okay, and I wouldn't have had to walk back here. I had to walk to Huntsville, and I certainly probably would have taken me 2 weeks. And if I made it across the country, and I didn't need to buy 10 new pairs of shoes and do all sorts of other stuff in order to get to Huntsville, Alabama. And by the time I got there, the shows would be over, and they go, "Where were you?" And I said, "Well, I had to walk here," so that I didn't feel like I was experiencing a first world problem. Look, I arrive at the airport in Las Vegas. The plane takes off. Everything looks fine. I know that we're facing Hurricane Ernesto. Could be a problem. They're talking about storms on the coast of the East Coast because I'm flying back to Newark. We're heading there. Everything looks like it could be okay. There seems to be some windows that we could possibly get through and make it to the airport. And sure enough, we're 20 minutes outside of Newark, and oh no, we'll have to take a left and go to Buffalo. We're going to Buffalo. We're going there. We will refuel and we will return to the airways again and get you to Newark. Well, okay, hopefully, and I'm looking now at what the weather map is like, and it's a little sketchy at best. And then they announce it turns out we're landing in Buffalo. Our plane is bigger than the planes that normally land in Buffalo, so we're going to have to. What? We're going to have to. Are you kidding me? What are you? This plane doesn't normally land in Buffalo. It's too big. Yes, it is, Mr. Black. We heard your thoughts. Yeah, God damn it, son of a bitch. So now he says that, and I've got to say, he's doing it well. There's only, and he's kind of like tossing it off, but part of my brain is going, oh no, this can't be happening. There will be a harder braking. There's a super brakes, I guess, that they'll have to use. And we kind of landed, and it was a little bit of a stunner, but nothing that a seasoned traveler like myself couldn't handle. And We roll up there to about 7:30, well, 7:25 when we would have arrived in New York. When we would have arrived in New York. So now we're at the Buffalo airport, not the biggest airport on earth, and not a lot of stuff to do. And it is Sunday night. So if there was anything, it became less than zip. Uh, and we sit there though, because we're not going to get off the plane. We're going to load it up, and now it's time becomes fuzzy. I think we're sitting on the plane for an hour, hour and a half, waiting to see what they're saying. Meanwhile, we get the message from our captain, and he's apologizing because he has to keep coming back. We've heard something from the Newark airport, and they think that they'll be pushing back the time of our time of estimated liftoff till 8:45, 9:15. They kept pushing it. I kept looking. It didn't look good. It didn't look good on the weather map. Didn't look good. Did not look good. And he kept apologizing, and we kept sitting there. Hello there, and we are barrel-assing our way right into Labor Day, coming very early this year. And so you want to get ready for Christmas, and what better way and what better gift to give than a ticket to a Lewis Black final tour show? I can't think of anything that'll bring more of a smile to the faces of your family and friends. But if you're interested, please go to lewisblack.com, where you'll see everything and anything about where I will be, and more tour dates. Tour dates will be added. Tour dates. What am I saying? But important. This week, coming to you in Huntsville, Alabama, at either Stand Up Live or Levity Live. I don't know what they're calling it, but I'm here in Huntsville, and I look forward to it. That's this Friday and Saturday at 7 o'clock. September 5th and 6th, September 5th at Buffalo at the West Hare Riviera Theater, and then on to Jamestown on September 6th. And so check it out. Christmas is coming, okay? Yeah, I'll sing it all for you sometime. Maybe when I retire from the tour. And eventually they said, well, what we're gonna do is that worst case scenario, we're gonna get out of this plane and we're gonna come back, all of us, tomorrow morning and get on this plane and fly home. And so we got out of the plane to basically get out of the plane. We'd been on the plane. If we'd actually been on the plane that long, we would have been in another country, I think. At least Canada, probably, maybe had been able to flown to the Caribbean. I don't know, but look, we had been in there too long, and we were losing our minds. And I forget what film I was trying to watch, but at this point, you're not really paying attention. Your brain's going, son of a bitch, I've got shit to do tomorrow, and I have an interview, and I've got a podcast that I'm supposed to be on. What am I going to do? Holy God! And then I've got to do the Rantcast. What am I going to do? And now you're hearing from me now. Normally I get it done. At least by Monday. It's Tuesday, and now I'm under the gun. I'm under the gun, which I knew when I was sitting there, and then I knew when I got in the airport, and they looked around and they said, "You can get food. You can get food down at you walk there down past right across from Gate 10, and yes, you could get food there. There is you can get chicken tenders and fries. Okay, I'm not. That's not enough. I can't do it. I just can't do it, and not after the chicken nuggets was recalled by Purdue. I just thought, what if these are just another Purdue chicken product? And not touching it. Not touching it. There were some sandwiches. No, I need something. I need to eat. I'll manage. It'll be fine. Everything's going to be okay, because we were doing the best we can, and we got a report. We could be leaving here at 10:30. And then they said, finally, 11:30, you will be hearing from us. Now it's 10:15, and I have to say, we're all remaining calm. It's a pretty calm group of people. We understand the problem. All you got to do is look at the weather map. I'm flying into that shit. I get it. Okay. It's not the airline fucking with us. It's sunny everywhere, and we're not going because of some sort of a problem with the mayonnaise and the tuna fish salad. I don't know. We're sitting around. I was as calm as I've ever been about it, even though my brain was going, oh, this is not going to help if I don't get the fuck out of here. And now they don't come to talk to us at 11:30. All they have to do now at this point, and this is to all airlines everywhere, all right? Just come out and make up some bullshit. Just say, look, we're doing the best that we can. I mean, granted, it's a repetition, but we need to see someone look a human form come out and talk to us because they said they were going to come out and give us our options. Now, they had told us, or maybe I was hallucinating. No, they told us that they were looking for hotel rooms in the area, and that if worse came to worse, we would go to the hotel and then come back. And he was talking about a 6 a.m. Flight out. Great. If we would just get the fuck out of there, that would be fine. I could get enough sleep. Then all of a sudden, they go, where they come out at 12:30, we're very sorry to report. And at this point, I knew it. That the pilots had spent way too much time, way too much time on the clock. Now they're going to have to go off the clock. So they need their proper rest. Fine, get it, understand. And so if the flight's been canceled, please find yourself a hotel. Find myself a fucking hotel. God damn it. And I'd not been through this shit before. So I had not been sitting there like a sane human being. And a lot of them were around me. And I become like the monkey old man going, well, Jesus, what am I going to do? But I'd heard Hilton Garden Inn. I go there all the time. This is not an advertisement for them. It's close. I say, I make that choice. And I call and I get them, and they do have rooms. Great. I thought there wouldn't be room because there were a number of flights apparently that were canceled. That's at least what the folks on the ground told me there in Buffalo. And unbelievably, I said, but you guys said that you were going to couldn't you give us a list of hotel rooms with phone numbers? And some of the people did get rooms. And but we were rebooked, and that came out too. And it looked like, okay, that's fine. One down. If I got to sit here, that'll be good. If we get out at that time, okay. But I got it to the hotel. I was able to get the hotel room, and then I go to the shuttle, and the shuttle had just left. Is that right? Yep, it just left. And then meanwhile, there were other places I could have gone, and those shuttles are coming back 2, sometimes 3 times. My shuttle, no, I don't know what was going on there, but they eventually came back. They picked me up. I got there. Now it's 1:30 in the morning. I get to bed at like 2. I'm up at 8 to get to. I want to get there early to make sure we're not screwed over, and that I'm going to want to find out if because it's at 11 o'clock we're leaving, and I thought, man, if there are too many people at the airport and whatever, and I need to get a ticket now because it's not showing up on my app. It's not showing up on my app. I'm still in my head is like just don't know, and I've got so much shit to do, but God damn it, we're going to get home, and then I'll just take a long nap and get up. And I know I'm raving now. I'm raving at you. I was raving in my own head. I get to the airport. Oh no, we're not leaving at 11. No, we're leaving at 12:15. Fine, I don't give a shit. That I can deal with that. And then the one bright spot, the sun came out. So I pass, which I do many times in the Buffalo airport, early in the morning. I've arrived there. I know what I'm dealing with now, and there's the Anchor Bar, and that's where the Buffalo Chicken Wing was created. It's their restaurant, the airport. By God, I've stopped there to pick up bottles of this stuff, that wonderful wing sauce that I love of theirs. It's addictive, and I go and I noticed that they've got a shredded chicken wing omelet, and I'm starving. So this is like, it's manna from heaven. I sit down, order it. It's a great omelet. If you're ever in the Buffalo airport, I'm telling you, get it. It is basically a egg folded over everything that, well, I love. Blue cheese, some celery cut up, some the wing sauce, and shredded buffalo wings. They will give you a buffalo wing on top. I should have taken it, but at the time I just didn't want to mess myself up. I just thought this is perfect, and let's go with this. And it was great. The sun came out for just a moment, and I finished it up and got myself some coffee and headed toward the place where our gate hadn't changed. Plane is there. and everybody packed in again, packed in. Now, and of course, now for the last 40, 15, 16 hours, my brain is going, now you're going to get COVID. Now you're going to get COVID. You've been standing amongst these people. You had your mask. I'm taking the mask on. I'm taking the mask off. I'm taking the mask on. I forget to put the mask on because I'm talking to people. And in the midst of the conversation, you don't want to put it on. And it was oddly enough the place that, sometimes I experience people around me know me, and sometimes they don't see. They don't. Doesn't. But either way, it's fine. but now they're going, I can't believe you're not screaming, and I'm going, well, I'm trying to remain calm. I found that it doesn't really work to scream at the folks who are on the ground here. And sure enough, they announced that we were going to get on the plane, and we all did. We got on the plane at about 11:30, I guess, maybe a little earlier. Everybody excited. And now we discover, yes, much to everyone's annoyance and irritation, that the idiots at United, we were on a flight from Las Vegas to Newark. That flight takes off, and that number is used every morning on the flight, same time from Las Vegas to Newark. So since they canceled our flight, and they had to cancel our flight so that the Las Vegas to Newark flight, it's not doubled, they had to change the flight to a Buffalo to Newark flight, different number. And then the fucking idiots at United, yes, United, I'm pointing a finger at you, the ones at the home office, not the ones on the ground who knew what was going on. And this is where we come down to the point of the discussion of, the idea of, whether it's the federal government, should be the states, should it be the corporate head, or should it be the folks on the ground? And there has to be some common sense when it comes to that. The folks on the ground, especially when it comes to what's happening there, are the ones who should be in charge of it, not the fucking idiots out there. And it should go the other way at that point. All right. It's that simple. And they're telling us we're getting on the plane now. They've been sent, all of us on the plane have been sent a bunch of stuff. It turns out that, we're getting the same ticket back. I'm being told that it will be the same seat. I talked to my travel agent to be sure. He says, I don't have a seat. I just have been there and said, yes, I have a seat. He had my seat switched. It was fine. It was because they had upgraded people and sold tickets. No reason you're selling tickets on this flight. All right. At premium. And so people are sitting in the seats when I get on the plane. They're sitting in my seat. I kind of go, I'm sorry. You're going to have to move. No, we're not moving. Well, you're going to have to, because this is the seat I got. I bought this seat from, and now it's a little bit of chaos. But everybody kind of, everybody's just a touch cranky, but nothing crazy. And the folks go, okay, because here's the kicker. It's a 50-minute flight. Got it? All we got to do is sit down, and I to blame too. I should have just gone, where's your seat? I'll go, where's the seat? I'll take it. I don't give a shit. Let's get the fuck home. And so, but they got up, and the folks that were sitting in our seats, the folks, not our seats, the guy sitting next to me, it wasn't an hour. It was him and me. We took the seats back, and we didn't take them, snatch them from them. But everything worked out. They went to the back of the plane. Now everybody's on the plane. We're ready to go. Okay? Now it's past 12:15. It's probably 12:30. Now we get out of there. I'm home, and then I can get a little rest in, and I could do the Rantcast. I could get some stuff done and get prepped for this morning. And I might miss some things, but God damn it, I'd be ready to roll. And so sure enough, we sitting there, and they go, to the back of what's the corporate office. They didn't really explain it. They just said we had to reboard. There's no reason to take your stuff off the plane. Nope, you have to take your stuff off the plane. Now people are going, no, I'm not getting off. Well, if you don't get off, we're not going. I'm not getting off. If you don't get off, we're not leaving. Okay, so everybody gets off the plane, and now we're going to do the same thing again. I, for the first time, speak. I say, look, all we have to do is look. There's a group of people on here who have the tickets for our plane. The old numbers on it. we were given those tickets again, and there are people on the plane with the new tickets. That's all you got to do is walk through us, look at them. Well, it turns out that corporate, the fucking idiots, they didn't have all the names on their manifest. So now we need to get off the plane so that corporate has the names. And literally nobody seems to have a paper or a pencil at corporate. Or there at the airport, they could have loaded this up, okay? The only way, it's just, they could have loaded up a list and gotten it to them, right? All they do is write all those names down, send them quickly to corporate, then we're done. That's all they needed. Nope. We get back on the line. Now people are fighting because they're afraid they're going to lose their seats. Some of them do lose their seats. Some of them flee the aircraft completely. Not me. I got to get home. Okay? I have to get home. I've had 10 hours sleep in 2 nights, and you don't do anything when you're in that airport. You don't do shit. You just sit there and stare into space and try to wait. What? We're going to do what? Because you don't want to leave that confined space because you're afraid at any moment there's going to be another announcement because you've been jerked off so much. Now get back in the line and we get on. And now it takes, seriously, close to an hour and a half to 2 hours to reload the plane. Okay? For us to all get back on the plane. And everything works out. And there's no problems. And now we can leave. And we leave at 4:00. So I've been sitting in that fucking airport from 9 until 4. And it's a full-time job, holding on to what shred of sanity I had left. And then arrived home, and I was broken. I was a broken man, completely. I know people have been through this. I needed to share it. I needed to get it off my chest. Thank you for letting me share. I mean that. And I hope that there's nothing this can do to help you. I don't know how you people recover, really deal with these situations well. I certainly didn't. It seems to me, and then of course I woke up this morning and went, God, there's all of the things I could have done yet. What I could have read, I could have written my rant. I could have done all sorts of stuff, and I didn't do it. Bad boy. Oh man. But you can't, because your brain is just deprived of any stimulus other than, what the fuck are we getting out of here? Oh, the other reason I entitled this edition of the Rantcast Insufferable is because the former President Trump this week compared the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which he gave to Miriam Adelson, who had just thrown money at him this time around. He gave it to her in 2018. He compared it to the Congressional Medal of Honor. All right. If I need to explain to you how these two do not in any way compare, and certainly the Presidential Medal of Freedom is not in any way, shape, or form more important than the Congressional Medal of Honor. The Congressional Medal of Honor is more important because it's and for a variety of reasons. I'm not gonna. If I have to fucking explain it to you, then go ahead and vote for it. All right, because that's insufferable. All right. Somebody should have said to him once he said it, and certain people came out, but others just have to tell him retract it. Okay, that it's you. What you said was wrong, and it was completely it has nothing to do with any reality whatsoever. And that she was alive, and I could give her it. Because a lot of the times he said this in a certain fashion. A lot of the times we give this away, and the medal of the Congressional Medal of Honor. These people are dead. They're injured. They've got some sort of PTSD. What the fuck is the matter with you? Okay? Somebody's career does not, in any way, shape, or form, it's wonderful, but it does not compare to the kind of bravery and what people do in order what people do to deserve the Congressional Medal of Honor. All right? Ridiculous. We don't have time for this anymore. You just got to tell them that's it. People kind of have to come up afterwards and go, will you please retract that now? Or you have to take some quiet time. I'm going to take some quiet time now and stop bothering you with my stupid story. And next week we'll be talking about Vegas, hopefully. And I'm flying off to Huntsville on Thursday. And that's just about 48 hours away. And what a joy that's going to be. Let's hope. Flying through Atlanta, so there can't be any screw ups there. Oh, yeah. But I am looking forward to going to Huntsville. I'm looking forward to you hearing the rants this week, and more to come. Please continue to send them in. And I look forward to reading as many as I possibly can as we roll into the fall. Seems like it's far away now, but you're going to open your eyes and go, fuck, are you kidding me? What do you mean it's 50 degrees out? Son of a bitch. It's a privilege and a pleasure spending time with you, and I mean that. I really do. Thanks for listening to this. It really helped. And I didn't get to see my shrink today, so it really helped. From Rich Andrews. Here's my problem. Republicans hate socialism, and they say this at every turn. As an autistic adult male, I've never understood why people are so dumb to believe that. If I don't have kids, I have to pay my whole life in taxes to send your children to public schools. I have to pay for tax credits for the rich and wealthy that do not need my money. I have to pay for aid to other countries while so many are homeless in our country. Make it make sense, Lewis. So they hate socialism, but they also love it. How can we unplug these people and wake them up to how bad they are being fucked? Lastly, want kids? Pay for every bit of the cost of them yourself. Thanks, Lewis. This is Rich from Ohio. Well, Rich, I enjoyed that. I don't know if I can explain it to you, but I do believe that we all have to kind of help pay for our children's education. All the children, Rich. I know this may seem insane. I've heard people talk about this before, but it's important, and it's how we pass on a kind of a sense of our democracy. Well, we used to be able to pass it on. I don't know what we're passing on now. And I believe that all of the children born here are everyone's child. So that I don't help you there. I see what you're meaning in terms of the Republicans there. And I can, it's really incredible because it's not socialism to pay for education. It's just not. It was one of the really the pillars of when we established this country, was the idea of a free public school education. I may be wrong about that, but I think it was. And there are certain things we do have to share. And when we share things, it's not socialism. It's something we do in order that all of us really get the benefits. And if those kids are taught, well, you know what happens when you're older and they're coming out of school and come up with something that's really spectacular, like a cure for whatever, it was worth it, Rich, and it paid for the education. All right. After World War II, we educated the troops that were coming home. We gave them college educations, and the investment that was put in was paid over like 20-fold, 40-fold, 50, whatever. So I hope that helps. I'm not going to talk about the rest of it, but I want to thank you for that, Rich. And it was a pleasure to read it. Jamie Warren is a bit upset by a friend of his. I think you will love to hate this as much as I do. I have a friend that is a staunch conservative. He lives in Minnesota and complains about the same shit everyone else does. Roads, taxes, and how libraries hold many books they don't want their kids to read. The other day, we were talking about the demise of Biden's campaign and the Harris candidacy. He was, of course, against her. And what I rebutted with was a simple pointing out of the Project 2025 initiative and its attack on our freedoms and that little thing we call, democracy. His immediate response will shock you. He says to me, I know, but it won't happen real fast. So why would I vote for Kamala? I was like, totally, what the actual fuck? It's like saying, I know the radiation can kill me, but the first few nukes are okay as long as we win the war. I pointed out the unsupreme court's decision that Trump presidents are immune. The overturning of Roe and gerrymandering votes out of power. He complained about the commissioner of his county getting a 50% raise because of liberals and said it's his tax money. Sure, it sucks to hear government people getting paid more, but I looked it up. I live in a town of 13,000 people, and our city manager made what his commissioner made in a county of over 1 million. Seems like they needed to address that to get better candidates. Either way, his taxes went up about 50 cents a year. Ooh, ouch. I guess we should let it all fall apart to save the half a dollar. Rather, better to let the roads fall apart so we can spend $5,000 to fix the suspension in our fucking cars. I could go on forever, but this is the kind of shit I get. Right here in my state. I live in the Red Sea here in middle America. Can you at least fucking send me a life preserver, you shit? Well, all I could do was read your pain up from the paper, Jamie. And I hope that helped a little. Thank you for sharing that. And I don't know how you argue with that. I mean, that's the nice thing. I find myself sometimes getting caught up having these discussions with people. It's impossible. Everybody kind of believes what they want to believe. And that 50 cents, maybe just, why don't you give your friend next time you see him 50 cents? There's a solution. Tell him, give him the 50 cents and tell him to stop worrying. Spencer Seymore ranting about an insect that drives us nuts in the summer. Fuck mosquitoes. Louis, sometimes all I want is to sit at a picnic table in a park with a hot dog and a milkshake and momentarily forget about the trials and tribulations of everyday life. However, my attempt is inevitably undone by little flying shit stains whose whole existence appears to be solely devoted to me, making me scratch my body like a goddamn labradoodle with a bad case of ticks. Hey, mosquitoes, do I look like a fucking labradoodle with a bad case of ticks to you? I just want 10 minutes to make metaphorical mouth love to a cup of milk and ice cream and a long stick of questionable meat my body probably can't fully digest. But there I am swatting at myself like I'm doing the fork in the garbage disposal dance. Why are mosquitoes even still on Earth? If I get stung by a bee or a bird shits on my forehead, I can live with that knowing they serve a purpose in nature. But mosquitoes? What fucking purpose do they serve? I have bites all over my legs, my arms, and even one on my ass cheeks. How the fuck did one of these blood-sucking cunts find a way up my shorts to nibble on the crack of my ass? Huh? It's not like I've made a habit of committing public indecency by going outside stark naked, and yet somehow I found myself spending 2 days seriously considering dragging my ass along the floor like a fucking labradoodle with a bad case of a ass rash. Hey, mosquitoes, I'm not a fucking labradoodle with a bad case of ticks or ass rash. Why in the sweet love of pussy juice can we not eradicate mosquitoes? Enough is fucking enough. Thanks, Lou. It's certainly not anything in the sweet love of, wow, okay. Spencer, message received. Bug spray. just a little tip. And then wait a few minutes before you eat that hot dog. Thank you, Spencer. Thank you. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me. Aha, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.